Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, or your regional equivalent. Welcome to Frozen Synapse 2. Ah, how beautiful is that menu music? Lovely. Now, we're going to be playing offline because we're going to be engaging in the campaign. Now, I won't lie to you, I've already played a few hours of this. I'm loving it so far. And because of that, I want to give it a little restart so I can do a few things better. I'm sorry, let me get myself into a slightly more comfortable position that isn't breaking my legs in half. And also because it's actually so fun, I kind of just want to share it. Alright, so, if you've never played Frozen Synapse or you've never heard of it before, it's sort of a turn-based tactics game. It's very fun. If you've never seen anyone play it or anything, don't worry about Frozen Synapse 1 at all. Frozen Synapse 2 is the same story in a sense, same universe, but it's a different story arc completely. It takes place like 10 years after and you're a completely different character. So, don't worry about knowing Frozen Synapse 1. Frozen Synapse 2 builds pretty much everything together for you. So I'm just going to play through this place. I'm not going to play the very basic tutorial, but I will go through the little city help thing because it gives you more story and bloody bloody. So I'm just setting my audio so my ears aren't blown out. Okay, very nice. Like I said, I love this game. It's fantastic. So we're going to start a new city. And where was I? Oh yes. So Frozen Synapse is not a real-time. It's a turn-based tactics game. Very good. I recommend you go watch someone else's playthrough of Frozen Synapse 1. It's a very long game, and so will this one be. Wow. Apparently I'm dyslexic. So will this one be. And this one will be yours also. So it should be very interesting. Yeah, nothing else I can really think of to say. The audio I'm set as very, very low because it's incredibly loud. Like, stupidly loud, to the point where I can't really hear myself. And not hear myself, but when I listen to the playback, I can't hear it. So, if it's too soft, I'll remedy that. But, I'm just making it very soft, precautionary. I've done many audio tests, and I can't seem to get it spot on the good balance between easy to hear and easy to hear me versus easy to hear the game audio. So I'm just gonna put it primarily on easy to hear me because I'm very narcissistic like that. Anyway, let's go new city game. So Frozen Synapse 2 puts us right in the middle of a massive city, which is Markov Geist or Markov Geist, Markov Geist. I have many ways of saying Markov Geist, Geist, Quacha, because I don't know. And so if I pronounce things weirdly, just get over it. Shame. But yeah, so I'm not going to put on any of the difficult, silly things. I'm just going to play the base game, and we're going to have a good time. Alright, let's start. I'm going to have to read these intro cinematics very quickly, because the text just auto-scrolls and it goes pretty quickly. Alright. Generate first. Welcome back to Markov Geist. 7 years ago, the shapeform entity Shadow's Palm destroyed itself, along with the ruling Nomad Corporation. The event became known as the Realization. Perhaps that means nothing to you. The city was splintered, and its pervasive network, the Shape, began to fray. Some of Markov's population become reacquainted with scarcity and displacement, their comfortable technology disintegrating around them. For many, the realization was simply the reconfiguration of a familiar trial. Forged from an awkward alloy of ambition and compromise, the hastily assembled Markov Geist Municipal Council set about reconstruction. The result was an algorithmic reformation. Buildings argue against buildings, jostling with anger and idealism, unspeakable wealth and poverty running through the tumult of traffic, momentary joy and fragmented disputes, powerful factions exerting their dominance through paramilitary posturing. Now the city faces an uncertain future, complicated by the arrival of a new threat. You'll come to understand its meaning. As for me, I didn't come to Markov Geist to save it. I came because I was called. Fantastic. Whew, yeah, so we start in the middle of this massive city. Now, this is the first time I've ever started here, by the way. That's really weird. I've never, oh my goodness. The few times I've tested and played this, I've started all the way down here in Wonderhome. But now I'm starting in the middle of the city. Okay, that's interesting. What? Okay. I mean, everything's position is sort of shuffled and thrown about the place. I'm pretty sure most people will start in Wonderhome, but I don't know. You see where the BU HQ is? That's where our base would normally start, or at least it started twice there for me. Like all the times I've tested this before, it started there, but not this time. It's fine. I'll be fine. So we have our HQ. We are basically, so the Markov Geist municipality basically hired you, me, us, sort of a kind of paramilitary contractor, and we're basically the city's blooming security force, which is very entertaining. I love that premise that we are the security force. So we are legally allowed to be here and kick everyone around, which you know, there is no one higher than us. We are it. We are the last stand for this city's sanity, and so it all pretty much falls on us, which I love. It's like, you know, we're trying to just hold everything together and make sure it all doesn't just explode into flames. And you'll see what I mean in a little while. This gets very entertaining. Would you like to run the city interface tutorial? Yes, I would actually, but first of all, I'd like to customize my faction. So we're not Bureau 8. We are the Protectorate. So the Protectorate is based off of a little that doesn't really matter. TPT, the Protectorate. TPO, Protectorate. TPO, Protectorate, the Protectorate. TPR doesn't. Actually, I think TPR works much better. Protectorate or TPT. I'm gonna keep it TPR. That seems fine. Okay. Faction leader title: Rally Eye. If any of you know the Forever Cold War, then you should know about the Last Stand Navy Protectorates, or the Protectorate, as it's called. Not to be confused with the Last Stand Navy. And so, yeah, so we have the Protectorate, and they have their Rally Eye. So we're going to be get all the cool Notcha, because technically it's part of the Last Stand Navy anyway. And because I like a cool Notcha. Moving on now. That's pretty much good. Oh, and listen to that music, man. And the visuals, and it's Frozen Synapse too. I love it. Okay, yes, I'd like to run the interface tutorial, because then we also get some more introductionary. Right, before we get down to business, let's do some basic orientation. Move the map, hold on the right mouse button, yeah. Please use the mouse wheel to zoom the camera in and out. Alternatively, you can use the M and N keys in your keyboard. You can probably manage that, can't you? Hold down the middle mouse button wheel and move allows you to locate, yeah. In the bottom right of the screen is the shortcuts window. It allows you to locate important things with ease and rapidity. Click on TPR HQ to zoom to your HQ. There we go. This is the delightful selected location window. You can use it to see details of the current building or squad, as well as any objects that may be present. Slam the next button directly underneath this text to continue. Now you've achieved basic functionality, I have a call coming through from our illustrious leader. Hello, cool. My name is Dominic Matten. I'm the chairman of the Markov Geist Municipal Council. We try to keep the wheels from falling off. You'll be reporting directly to me. We don't normally use freelancers, but you come highly recommended. I know you've been around for a little while. Your record during Icefix and the Torpor consequence speaks for itself. We've hired you to mount an emergency response to a force within our to a force which our analysts have termed Sonata. You'll be required to send your military assets to any incursions, investigate, and protect the population. The Protectorate has been established to give you some significant autonomy from the Council. Aside from your responsibilities around the incursions, you may act according to your own discretion. The MGM does not have the resources to fully support an operation on this scale. Therefore, we've secured partial funding for your activity. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick. Apologies if I cough my face off every now and then. Okay, let me read that again. Therefore, we've secured partial funding for your activities directly from the city districts and other major factions. In return for this, you will also be required to maintain a general security force, keep faction activity in check, keep the peace. Sonata's presence has been accompanied by the appearance of powerful objects known as relics. You will recover these from incursion sites, and we will make use of them to generate revenue and enhance our ability to support VAT-form mercenaries. Many of their properties are currently unknown. We are continuing to investigate. I love this game so much. The Sonata incursions. Also, look at these graphics. That looks so cool, man. It looks so cool. Like the glow and all. It's really cool. Good luck. I look forward to working with you. Let's take a look at the map views in the top right. Click on each one to activate it. Shape Control SC shows the area where factions have influence. Local militia are more likely to fight for a faction in these areas. District shows some information about the various city districts. Set it back to normal and click Next when you're done. So we have SC, Shape Control. Starts out very small, obviously, as it would for these first little bits. The district, so we get to see the district. So we are currently in Grey Line South, in this Hope Ridge, New Cortica, Wonderhome, which is where you usually start. And then, of course, we have Denovis, Clearhold, Silver Arbor, and I've already read Hope Ridge. And each one of these districts have their own faction, sort of their own district leader, which is quite fun. Okay, normal, next. In order to wait for the next incursion, we must start advancing time. Press the play button at the bottom left of the screen. This is a useful button. Once you set up, this is a useful button. I love that. I love the writing in this game. It's so entertaining. Once you set up an action, you'll need to press it to get things moving. Don't forget to do that, okay? It's like, this is Balakwa, by the way. You'll know him quite well if you play Frozen Synapse 1 or if you've watched it. So go watch someone play Frozen Synapse 1. Trust me, it's faster than playing through it yourself. Although I did play through it myself, so anyway, let's advance the time, and we're letting the city advance. Barrington Fontaine. We're requesting immediate assistance with a Sonata incursion in Grey Line South. Mason. Now is the district governor cool? We'll need to send a squad over there and deploy immediately. The districts may dock your funding if you respond too slowly to incursions. Time to show what you're really made of. Well, other than globulous flesh, that is. Good old Balakwa. Important events will pause the game and bring up an action token to give you information and shortcuts to likely actions. Red ones are critical. You'll have to deal with them before moving on. You can ignore all the others if you want. I love that. Sonata is locating relics and then sending squads out to collect them. Luckily, only we have the tech to detect these incursions, so we won't get a load of idiotic factions in our face the whole time. You'll need to send a squad over there to deal with it. Click on the small magnifying glass icon on the action token at the bottom left to see where the incursion has landed. It's right next to us, which is quite nice. We never know where incursions are going to land, so eventually we'll need to improve our coverage of the entire city. Conveniently, this incursion is pretty close to us, so let's try and get to it. Click on Send Squad down there at the bottom left. We currently have 2 squads of VAT-form soldiers, however I'm just showing you the important one here, as the other is at home defending your HQ. Click on Strike Team to apologies. Click on Strike Team on the right hand side of the screen. Which button should you press next? That's right, the play button. Give that a whack and let's watch them make their way to the incursion. Sorry. Their way to the incursion from your HQ while we remain comfortably at home. So they're over here and they're going to roll out. Really fun. Would you like me to run through our tactical systems? I hear you've been out of the loop for a while. Don't worry, I know the tactical. Well, you know what? For you guys' sake and for completion, we'll play it. Play combat tutorial. Because I quite like the combat tutorial. It's quite entertaining. Okay. This highlighted unit is currently carrying some data of great import. We need to extract it by moving into the grey extraction zone on the right hand side of the map. First, move the character by holding down the left mouse button and moving the mouse, or by using the arrow keys. I like both. You can zoom in or out using the mouse wheel or the M&M. Select the unit by left-clicking daintily upon it. You've outdone yourself this time. Double-click with this double-click within this glorious shining box in order to create a waypoint. We have just made a plan for what will happen in the next few turns. Our turn. Few seconds, our turn, if you will. Let's test this plan before we commit to it by pressing the play button at the bottom of the screen, or the spacebar. Spacebar. Crispy and unfortunate. Our opponent's turn plays out at the same time as ours, and sadly you would likely be killed by the flamethrower if we did this. It's a good job we tested. We should probably revise this plan and move you further away. Let's delete the last waypoint with backspace. Now let's move this remaining waypoint by dragging it into the box. Oh, and listen to that music. I desperately hope it's not too soft, but oh well. Our masterful plan is now ready, so let's commit it with the prime button at the bottom of the screen and watch the outcome. Let's go. Let's click anywhere on the outcome, yeah, so we can on the outcome image. You moved out of the way and also killed another assailant. You see, units like this sorry. Units like this pistol attack automatically when they're in range of an enemy. They also continue to move along their plan while attacking. Click this. Let's take a look at that again. Watch as your unit takes down the next enemy. Click on the first turn box at the bottom of the screen and then click play. Time to take our next turn. This will be slightly more challenging. You can see the waypoint I've placed for you here, taking you out of the door on the sorry, on the right. Press next to continue. I believe it's likely that this highlighted enemy will run in on an attack vector. Luckily, we can make plans for what we think enemies might do, as well as creating plans for our own units. Press next to continue. Select the highlighted enemy unit by left-clicking on them. Double-click to make a waypoint for them, the highlighted area behind the half-height cover. You may need to move the camera to see where I am indicating, as it could be hidden. So yeah, it's quite entertaining. Yeah, okay. Not see-through walls. Detonated by the light. So, indicating, as it could be hidden by a wall. Cover like this is denoted by the light blue areas. Right, now let's test this plan by pressing the play button or the spacebar. Remember, this is just what we believe the enemy will do. Yes, that's exactly what we don't want to happen. Encounters are won or lost depending on cover, aiming, and stillness. This enemy is in a strong position. Cover confers an advantage in most circumstances, but if we're very precise with our aiming, and the enemy is not ducking, we can defeat it. Now, drag out the magnificent aim handle with the left mouse button to the highlighted location. The aim handle looks like this and is located on the left of the unit. I suggest you zoom in to find it. Again, remember, if this enemy was ducking behind cover, then they couldn't shoot us and we couldn't shoot them. Now, as we test our plan, watch for indicators next to our unit. The T shows that he's acquired a target. Let's test with the play button or the space bar. Aiming in the right direction will win many encounters, but here the enemy's cover is too strong. We need to predict his exact location. Drag the end of the aim order sorry, of the aim order into the location I'm indicating here. This is quite a precise location, so you might need to move the camera to see it properly. It's just behind the cover where the enemy position. Adjust the aim order until the end of it is within the small box. This will put the enemy in our focus diamond, giving us an advantage. Our units will aim at this point until we cancel the aim order. I'll show you how to do that now. We can place orders anywhere on a plan, not just on a waypoint. Select this highlighted point on the plan by left-clicking. Now issue a cancel aim order by opening the orders menu with the right mouse button. You can see here that there's a variety of orders which we're able to place on the plan. Select the cancel aim order. Excellent. Remember, once placed, orders can be dragged around or deleted with the delete key. You don't need to do that now, though. Press X to continue. Now test the plan with the play button or space. Watch for the F symbol next to our unit, indicating that we got a focus time advantage. Again, remember that they could duck down here and make it impossible for us to hit them. We're only testing what could happen at this point. That looks like a sensible plan. Good. Good work. However, we blundered straight into the next enemy. Now, I mentioned stillness being advantageous earlier. Let's make sure that we're still when that enemy attacks us by making our unit wait. Select the highlighted part of the plan. Open the orders menu with the right mouse click. Issue the wait order. Spectacular! Now adjust the length of the time that our unit waits by dragging the clock icon upwards. Adjusting it to 2.5. You might need to zoom in to see the numbers on the order. Let's test. Press the play button. Excellent. We were still... sorry, I need to go give myself a drink of water just now. Excellent. We were still while our opponent was moving, so gained an advantage. Almost there. If we can make a run for it, then we might still be able to reach the exit. We can place orders in stacks and use wait orders as part of the stack. Just select the wait order here. Open the orders menu with the right mouse click. Now use a continue on site order. This continue on site order will prevent our unit from attacking, causing them to continue moving along their plan without slowing down to target enemies. Of course, we'll need to take out the enemy in the extraction zone, so let's add our final order to the plan. Press next to continue. Add an engage on site here. Remember to open the orders menu with the right click. The order will reset the unit to its original behavior. You'll attack enemies on site once more. Remember to cancel orders like aim, duck, or continue on site. In this way, units will keep doing these behaviors until you tell them to stop. Our plan is now complete. Press prime to commit it, and let's watch the hilarity. I love Balakwa. Very nice. That'll do for now. You get the idea. We need to link up with some other units and free them as well. Our team needs to take out all of these enemy units in order to escape the prison. I'll show you how to use a rocket launcher unit, then you will take over. Normal turns last 5 seconds, however a long turn is a turn which ends when all your units reach the end of their plans, no matter how long those plans might be. Let's make this a long turn by selecting the option at the bottom of the screen. You can turn it off again later if you like. I like long turns, it's quite a nice function. Now select the rocket launch unit, which I have highlighted for you. Rockets destroy walls and kill enemies within the radius of the explosion. They do not kill enemies on contact prior to exploding. Drag out and aim to this highlighted location over the right hand side. If you can't see it, try zooming out here. Remember, the aim handle is located here. So this is something very nice and new. It actually shows you the explosion area, which is very nice. Excellent. Now double click in this area, we'll make a waypoint and move the rocket launcher to this location after firing. Test this plan by pressing play. Haha. Very nice. You are the green team. Yeah. You'll be on your own from here. A helpful set of reminders over on the left hand side of the screen. If you'd like, you can look up the more complex orders available in the orders menu. Then click open reference guide. Thanks to the convenience of temporal manipulation, you can restart the scenario at any time, so feel free to experiment as much as you like. Click leave tutorial to finish. Fantastic. Yeah, so we can toy around for a little bit. Yeah, I love this. Bum, bum, bum. My next question is, how did they smuggle 2 SMGs, a pistol, and a rocket launcher into a prison? Where are the other prisoners? And why do you only have pistol troopers to defend your prison? What are you doing? Okay, great. We'll leave the tutorial, because that pretty much catches us up on everything. Good. Our strike team is about to arrive. The incursion requires orders. You really don't want to see what it looks like when they make their own decisions. Click the give orders button on the red action token at the bottom left. I love that. Okay. In general, you have a variety of options when a squad reaches a node. We're not here to make pancakes, so let's click Attack Incursion. Wish we could make pancakes. Oh. Apologies. Only just woke up a little while ago. I'm told they just appeared from nowhere and started threatening people. Did our best to evacuate. Cool, the Sonata units have activated this building's lockdown system. The dark red areas on display are locked doors, whereas the light red beams represent the ballistics grid that is defending the windows. Sorry, pardon me. When the building is in this state, units cannot enter, fire through the windows, or destroy the walls with rockets. To get entry, you need to move a unit to the rectangular unlock zone here. Or here. Our techs will connect to the platform in the zone and hack the lockdown system via its shape interface. The building will unlock in your next turn. The zone will turn green when you've activated it. You can deploy your units in this mission. This just means that I'll handle getting them to a specific point for you, as long as it's safe. Look on the left-hand side of the screen. You can click units in the deployment pane and drop them on the play field. You can also drag them around. Oh, listen to this music. Bum bum ba da ba bum bum ba da. You can't place units in the enemy's line of sight, and sometimes there'll be other restrictions. Watch out for the warnings at the bottom of the screen. Once you've placed them, you can make a plan for them in the same turn. That guard outside isn't aware of your presence, and I can predict his moves. That's what the circle around him means. Let's just press play and test a turn to see what he'll do. You won't be able to do that with the enemy once they've figured out you're there. If you get confused about something, try the info button in the top right. Now go and kill things. Bum bum wow wanna bum bum wow wanna na na na. Yeah, so I can deploy my little guys. Technically they start all the way over here. This is actually where they were waiting for me, but I can luckily just pull them over here. Okay. You're just gonna focus this poor guy down. Good to have you go over here and wait for a little couple seconds. The plan comes through. We're gonna make it good, I tell ya. It's gonna be fun to be running on. Bum bum bum. Look, I love Frozen Synapse too, and the music is just good. Sorry about that. I'll sing as little as possible. I'm detecting a high-intensity propagation, geometric luminance, interference, signature distribution orthogonal to the locus at 2840. Sorry, I meant to say, oh, look at the shiny thing over there. It's a relic. You don't need to pick it up. Our soldiers will grab it after you've eliminated the Sonata units. I love Balakwa. Yeah, since these are pistol units, we can pretty much take them out without any sort of hassle, which is quite nice. Yeah, so we can make little plans for the enemy, and we can make them prepare for us. So if he was prepared, we would win. We don't get to see. Okay, let's play it out. Pow. Yeah, you win. Great, and that's literally our turn. Let's just end it. Doesn't even matter. Okay, let's go. Oh, yeah, I should have moved out, because I had a feeling I should. You're not hitting him. Intriguing. Don't cancel your aim. I like that it actually auto cancels your aim. That's a pretty nice touch. That should pretty much cover it. There we go. Very nice. Great. Good job. You've annihilated the threat. Sorry, eliminated the threat. You know what? Same thing. Any objects and areas you've unlocked will be automatically picked up. Nice one. Disconnecting now. Click on End Mission at the bottom to end the mission. Very nice. Excellent work. We've captured some loot, and now we need to get it back to base. The interface gives us a shortcut to send our squad home, but let's do it manually this time. Select our HQ. It should be visible on the map, and you can left-click on the building itself, or its label. If you've got lost, use the shortcut on the bottom right panel. Now click the Interact button. Now click Send Squad here. Now click Strike Team. Let's advance time so the squad can get back to the HQ. Press the play button. So they'll drive along. You've retrieved an item which can be installed to your HQ. You can see what an action token is sorry. You can see that an action token has appeared allowing you to do this. All of these actions are available from the Interact menu. Install everything here. Like to activate this relic here? Yes. Once a relic has been installed in a base, it can't be taken by another faction. The installation process takes a while though, so a relic can still be grabbed during this time. Installing relics and completing contracts encourages companies to license their VAT-form mercenaries to us. Click on the Merc Market button, bottom right of the screen. I've highlighted it for you, Merc Market. I love it. Select a mercenary you like the look of. Okay, we have 32,000. So, let's grab SMG. Yes, they look extremely dashing and efficient. Click Sign Mercenary. So the SMG unit is a mid-range combat platform. It is not especially accurate and largely considered inferior to the assault rifle. In the right situation, it can provide useful support. Let's add them to your strike team. The left arrow button, the left arrow button on the correct squad, or the Add Merc to the squad button will put them where you need them to be. Now return to the main view by clicking the globe icon on the bottom right. I'm going to leave you on your own soon. You'll be glad to hear. I'm going to leave you on your own soon. You'll be glad to hear. If you want further help, I recommend activating help mode by clicking on the little question mark at the bottom right. This will bring up some quick help for each of the screens you can access with the buttons down there. Try it now. Good. You can deactivate it by just hitting the same small button again to get rid of those annoying help windows. Convenient. Finally, here's some quick things to remember. Click a building and then interact to do things. You can also click on squads and intersections to interact with them. For example, you could click on intersection and then make your squad make a checkpoint there. This can be useful for guarding areas of the city, and some contracts will require you to do it. If you need some extra cash, open the contract screen and take a look there. You also might be able to get extra work by calling up a faction leader from the faction screen. Yeah, so if why am I lost? Contracts, thank you very much. Faction screen. At some point you'll want to take a new base. You'll need to find a residential or corporate office building, click interact and then purchase it. You can also seize the building certificate from another faction's base and then deploy it in a building to gain control of it. That's a bit risky though. When you have a squad stationed somewhere, if you interact with that location, you set up deployment here, you can get your forces ready for any attacks. You should consider doing that to your HQ when you finish this tutorial. That's it. I'm finally done now. Your priority is the incursions. Get to them as fast as you can or the district will cut your funding. Aside from that, you'll have to keep up in business by doing contract work. Oh, and you'll need to stop the faction from getting out of control. Should be fine. Yes. If you run out of inspiration, just slam the fast forward button down there and wait for the next incursion. I have faith in you. Technically speaking. Fantastic. Great, so now you all know exactly what we're doing. And that is the game's main thing, and it's wonderful. I love this game to bits. Our engineers attempt to activate the relic. This will take some time. Strike teams arrive at HQ. Okay, well since we're here, let's set up deployment. And we get to see what this HQ looks like. Ooh, weird. Okay. You're now setting up deployment for this location. You may drag units around and set patrol routes for them by making waypoints in the usual way. When enemies arrive at this location, your units will follow these patrol routes until the enemy is spotted, at which time they will return to your direct control. If this is a location where items may be stored, use the said items location. Okay, your units are initially in randomized positions. Drag the map around to find them. Good. Okay, we only have one access point, so this makes our life very easy, actually. The one that you normally start with, well, at least that I normally started with, has 2 access points. It's not at all like this. You'll see the room at some point. Set item storage. Yeah, thank you very much. This is a nice little back room. Now I need to find my avatar, my civilian leader. He's somewhere around here. Faction leader. Yeah, so you can see what they are. Tippler SMG, faction leader. So he needs to go sit over here and be very safe. He has a little pistol, but he's not that effective at combat. Well, he's just as good as any old pistol. So he's going to sit there and be quite safe. Which is just funny. We have our little SMG. Yeah, luckily we only... Now, these 2 pistols are our base defense guys, so they're the only guys that are going to be able to do anything. Because the strike team's going to be out for the most of it. I would set up nice patrols, but there's just so much area to move around here. I don't want it to get out of control, so I'll just lock down the entrance. Which is a bit cheaty, but like... I mean, what can we gonna do? Okay, finish. Lovely, it just zooms us out. Yeah, so the Wonder Home base... I've lost Wonder Home now, it's down here. So the Wonder Home base... unfortunately we can't just zoom into bases willy-nilly, because that's just we're not allowed to, so it's just how it goes. I'm getting really thirsty. Okay. Well, I think I'm just going to let this be the tutorial episode. So, thank you for joining me, everybody. And the next episode will actually get to this stuff. So, thank you, everyone, for joining me for a bit of madness. I hope you now are fully introduced into Frozen Synapse 2. Next time, we're going to go crazy, people. So, until next time, everyone. Cheerio.